welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be what I do on my channel, which is tutorials. This is going to be a voiceover tutorial because I just wanted to get into the nitty-gritty. The stuff that I do on my YouTube channel as far as tutorials go are very informative. A lot of them are very much casual, if not casual makeup, then editorial makeup, but I kind of wanted to do something that went in depth with what I do for my Instagram looks. My Instagram looks can either be very basic and neutral, just like everything that you see on my YouTube channel usually, but sometimes, especially when I'm getting really inspired by color or just everything in my life, I want to do something a little bit more dramatic, but it's not necessarily avant-garde in any way. It's not something cutesy or weird. It's usually just something that's very bold. I love to experiment with that kind of stuff on my Instagram page, but I don't really do any in-depth tutorials on those types of looks on my YouTube channel. So today I kind of wanted to sit back and get into my creative zone that I usually get when I sit down to do my Instagram looks and bring that to YouTube and show you guys the process. Especially for photography and making everything stand out, I have to put on a lot of pigment, really hone it in and make sure that everything is completely seamless, because those details show up very much profoundly on photo when you're doing it for Instagram. So I just kind of wanted to do a tutorial showing how I get into my creative process and how I do my makeup a little bit differently so it shows up better in photography. I'm sorry if you guys like it when I'm kind of just sitting down and talking, but I knew that I would be here all day. I'm already here all day and I'm only doing the intro, so I'm just going to speed through everything and show you guys my little step-by-step process. So if you want to find out how I got this green and purple smoky cut crease kind of thing we got going on here, then please keep on watching. Okay, so I did my eyebrows off camera because there's no way that I would be able to show that in 5 minutes. Like, it takes way too long. But I did use a brow powder and then cleaned it up with a little bit of concealer on the under and outer portions. So for my base, I'm going to be using the Born This Way Sculpting Concealer from Too Faced. And I just put that on with a Real Techniques brush from my color correcting set that I used a while ago. Yeah, nothing too fancy, just blending it out. And then just to make sure there's no like creases or weird brush strokes, I just pat it down with a sponge. And then for the first palette, I'm going into the Norvina palette from Anastasia, and I'm taking the color Soul. And I'm applying that with a Morphe E22. Now, I did not set down my base with a translucent powder like I usually do. Instead, I'm kind of doing what the new girlies are up to, where they're just putting on a solid color, kind of the middle transition color, onto a wet base so that there's more pigment concentrated there. I've been doing this often. I just kind of pat the color on, and then once I feel like I have enough powder on so that there's not going to be any weird brush strokes, I then start to buff it out. And it has been working pretty well. Some colors do well with it, some don't. So just use at your own risk. And then I go into my Morphe 35B, and I'm just going to use that nice little lavender color. And we're just going to use that as kind of our first transition. I'm doing this with the Morphe M441. And then of course, like always, I spot a random red mark on my face because my skin just wants to freak out on me at all times. But regardless, we're going to keep blending this out. It kind of turns the bluish color of Soul into a obviously more cool toned purple color, which I liked, and it kind of made the whole pattern for the rest of the colors to kind of work out a little bit better. So I'm just kind of using buffing and swirling motions for that. And then to kind of deepen it up, I take this kind of more warmish purpley color on my Morphe M513, and I start to build up the outer V and also kind of the crease to kind of transform it. This was like the defining color of the entire look in my opinion. It really started to turn the look into more of that deep, rich purple, like a solid purple, because we have the cool tones underneath and then we're using kind of this warmer purple tone, so it kind of neutralizes everything and makes it a really rich, deep, royal purple that I really liked, and I feel like it really made the look pop a little bit more. Sometimes with purples you could kind of get more of a pinky look or a redder look, so I was obviously very pleased with that. And then of course Shane Dawson's next video uploaded, so I had to kind of watch that in the background.
But regardless, I'm taking that kind of darker purple on this brush that has no freaking name, and I've used it in so many tutorials that I'm sure you guys probably recognize it anyway. Some videos I list what it's called, some I don't. I can't keep up anymore. As long as you have a flat blending brush, then I'm sure you'll be fine with executing that color. Listening to that demonic shit, I decided to keep on going with the blending. Sorry if I keep on looking up at my TV, I was just so intrigued by the demonic shit. Anyway, that is all done. The blending is all pretty much solid, so now we're going to go ahead and cut the crease. This is the Morphe M224, but honestly any concealer flat brush that you have will work, except the e.l.f. one. I don't like that one for this. Yeah, so maybe not everyone, but this one is definitely really good. It's helped with a lot of my looks. So pretty much I just slap on a lot of it. I blink upwards or just lift my eye up, whatever. And then, yeah, you get like that nice little line so that you're a little bit above your crease so that the beautiful shimmer that you put on will stand out a little bit more, and then it's not going to be folded by your eye. And that's me being excited for actually getting it even. So then I go in with the ABH Subculture palette, and there's a bunch of stickers from some editorial looks I did, so that's embarrassing. And then I take this Axis color, which is that deep, rich, greenish slash blue, and then I take the Anastasia brush that came with it, and I'm actually using that to put on the color and just distribute the pigment really evenly because I feel like it's a really nice packing brush. And because the Subculture colors are a little bit questionable, it's good to just lay down the color first before you start blending. So I just use that, and then I go into Untamed to kind of like create some sort of a gradient, some sort of a blend. It's not necessary. As long as you just use Axis, I think you'll be fine because it kind of gets washed out by the shimmer colors anyway, but I kind of wanted to do something fancy, obviously, for photography. To add the shimmer, I'm using the Jaclyn Hill palette that is so deliciously dirty, and then that color, is it Diva? I don't remember. And I'm taking this e.l.f. flat shader brush, and I'm kind of just spraying that. I don't really have to, but I did use the e.l.f. Mist and Set for that because it's terrible at misting the face, but it's really good at misting shimmer colors. I'm really going hard on e.l.f. today. I'm sorry, but I do like this brush for packing on shimmers. It's always been really good to me. And then I take the shade Electric from the Subculture palette. This sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. It's one of those types of pigments from the Subculture palette, but using that flat brush really helps to kind of bring it to life, especially with the Mist and Set and also with the concealer base that we laid down. And then I kind of wanted to add a little bit of purple. So I take the tried and true oval fluff slash crease brush, the C163 from Crown, and I put Celestial down on the inner corner from the Norvina palette, and it really just tied the whole look together. It would just have been random colors all mushed together if I didn't do that. So then I decided to kind of wipe away all the fallout and get that kind of harsh but not line, you know, we kind of blend it out. And then I take an eyeliner. This is from Ulta. It's a double-sided one. I don't know if they sell these. I got it in the set, but I just basically any black liner will do in the tight line area. And then just the mascara. I don't curl my lashes for this because who has time for that? We're just gonna put lashes on anyway, and these are actually the Natalia lashes from House of Lashes. It's collab with Sephora. And then the Dual Lash Glue, which I love so much. And we're just going to put those on in a bit, but not without putting on a brow bone highlight. So that is Bare from the Norvina palette. And I put that on both my brow bone and also my inner corner. I don't think I showed that, but yeah, because it's not really that important. But yeah, then I just go ahead and blend it out because we did blend up those colors so high up. So yeah, then I just place it down because the lash glue is completely dry, and I finesse with it until I have what I like. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And then we're all done with the top of the eyes. Obviously we have the bottom to go, but I'm gonna go on and move to the face. So I am starting off with the NYX Angel Veil. It's always been very good to me, especially when I'm a little too shiny. Went ham with the skincare that morning. So put that on in the T-zone, and then I go in with my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow and the Eco Tool Sponge not without misting my face a little bit, you know, gotta do that, gotta be extra. But yeah, I kind of just put it in all the areas so that I'm not like putting a glob on one cheek and then nothing on the next cheek. You know how it goes. And so I could evenly blend it out, and I kind of just start on my cheeks first because they usually need the most amount of coverage, and then I go into my forehead, which is blemish free right now, so it didn't really need a lot of coverage. But yeah, I'm pretty much just using this foundation because, you know, it's one of the only ones I have. I think it kind of matches my skin, but whatever. Then I go into the Born This Way Sculpting Concealer again, and this is in the shade Almond, and if any of you are curious, I don't know if that really helps, but yeah, I've been liking that for brightening up the under eye, and then of course I take my L'Oreal True Match to kind of, help with dark circles, and then this Tarte Clay Stick Foundation in the shade Deep Honey. This is the darkest color that they have in that shade range, so they've always been trashed. Yeah, so I like to blend out my cream contour first before I do anything because I just feel like I could get a little messy with it and kind of, turn into an orange helmet. So it really helps to do that first, and then you go in and blend out the concealer to kind of help to neutralize everything and go over areas maybe you went a little bit too hard on, hard on. And then of course I did this weird like pattern on my chin because I wanted to get like that heart-shaped chin. I'm never gonna achieve that, so I don't know why I did that. But we're trying to do some new things with makeup. I've never really been a fan of doing that to my chin because I feel like I have a butt chin, but we're gonna try it anyway and see what happens. And then just blending out my under eyes as usual. Now, I know we know that I can't really blend out things that well, so I like to go in with a little brush. This is the same Real Techniques brush I was using earlier to kind of get around all the areas that are hard to get, like around my nose piercing, just around my nose in general, to be honest. And then, yeah, I just settle all those little creases and weird things, and then I actually use a tiny Real Techniques sponge to bake a little bit with my RCMA translucent powder. I've been doing this just because, I've had long hours at work and stuff like that, so I just don't want to look like a cakey mess. But yeah, so I apply that with a sponge to kind of like set it down really nice, and then I use this Crown C531 brush to kind of brush away all the bake really quick. Now I'm going in with the same oval fluff / crease brush, the C163, and I'm taking the darkest purple from that Morphe 35B palette and kind of just connecting it to the top layer. And then I go in with the Morphe M411, my little tiny brush, and then I go in with the second darkest color, that kind of warmer purple. And then I take the Real Techniques Space Shadow Brush and I take the lightest lavender color from the Morphe 35B to kind of round that all out. I didn't want to go in with Soul because it was just a little bit too purple blue in my opinion, so I thought it would throw off the look. Just some more black eyeliner and then more of the voluminous Carbon Black Mascara from L'Oreal. And then, oh yeah, I did show it. This is the base shadow from the Norvina palette. Did I say Bare earlier? I'm sorry. Anyway. Now I'm going in with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and this angled blush brush from Crown, and I'm just kind of getting all of the low points as opposed to high points, and just kind of bronzing up the skin. I'm not too into contour lately, so I'm actually going to skip the blush and use a shimmer bronzer from e.l.f. and this Target Up and Up blush brush, and use that as a blush to kind of give my skin a little bit more radiance. Kind of canceling out any dark tones that we have and just, giving me kind of that more glowy look because my skin hasn't been acting up lately, so I can take advantage of that. And then I'm taking like a couple of contour colors from the Anastasia Powder Contour Kit. I didn't show them because they're in a Z palette right now, but this is the Benefit Hoola Bronzer brush, and I'm using that to kind of sculpt the cheeks out a little bit. The tones I'm using are a little bit more bronzy, as you could see. It didn't really add much darkness. And then I'm just going around my nose because I don't really need a nose contour, but I like to look a little bit normal, not just having a white nose in the middle of my face. And then this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Marshmallow Highlighter from the Sweets Glow Kit. I think that's what it's called, or the Sugar Glow Kit. Yeah, Sugar Glow Kit. I'm getting a lot of things wrong. It's been a while since it's done a voiceover, so. And I'm just putting that on all the high points. I went a little bit ham with it, but I liked that it had kind of a greenish gold tone to it, so I thought that would complement the eyes a little bit better. And then this is a kind of sexy lipstick from MAC. and I didn't go in with a lip liner because I didn't really want to, but this is a nice little peachy pink that I feel like really complements, once again, the purples and the greens. It kind of gives a little new vibe to the look and kind of tones it down from being so dramatic to more wearable, and that is the finished look.
And that is it for this tutorial. If you want to see how the end result looked, you could go ahead and check on my Instagram page to go see that. It will be at the end of this video, and it's also linked down below in the description box if you are curious, but mostly everything that I have is J Murphy Beauty. I hope you guys liked this video, and I hope you guys liked this look as well. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also give me a follow on Instagram as well, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!